Good morning, friends. I am out here today to finally give you a tour of my berry garden. It is September 1st, so we are now in early fall, but everything is still looking beautiful. My roses that I put in this spring are doing a second flush, so let me show you. So I have two containers here that I've been absolutely loving this year. I put in, let's see, there's a dark coleus. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's a really deep dark coleus with Supertunia Bordeaux. And I've got a black and blue salvia in the middle, and then there was some, oh, here's some verbena. I think it's Cake Pops verbena. They look a little better backed up now than they do close up, but I still have been loving them. I think they've been performing great. I can see them from my bedroom window, and I just love them. And they are flanking this opening in our blackberry gate. So the blackberries are going wild. They look beautiful. A lot of these canes are new growth this year though, so which is great, but it means we didn't get a lot of berries because this spring a lot of the canes from last year died back, and we get a lot of the berries. It fruits on second year canes, so I'm hoping this year we'll have a little bit more. Let me come in here though, because I do think I see, can you see that there? That's a berry. I don't think it's quite ripe because it's still a little shiny. So we have gotten a few, and the few we've gotten have been delicious. And I do need to tie some of these canes up just so they don't get hit by the mower and stuff and clean it up, but I will do that in the next couple weeks, hopefully. As we walk in here, we have our blueberry patch. So there are 8 on each side here, 2 rows of 4. And there's different varieties. You can see the ones in the back there. That's like this side. Were planted, I think, 2 years later than most of the others. So they're a little smaller. I tried this year to do an extra layer of cardboard and mulch, and I need to weed it again. But that's where we are. I'm thinking of adding a pea gravel path here. Let me know what you think of that. And I have these bricks here in the middle that I was playing with. I was like, ooh, a brick path would be nice, but I don't think I could do that myself. So the brick is actually here. I want to finish edging out the rose circle. We've done the middle, but not around the outside. So again, on my list to do this fall. But this is my rose circle, and I am like, this is just making me so happy. These roses on the front arch are, hopefully I get all the names right. I'm pretty sure they are Claire Austin. If I get them wrong, I'll note. I'll make a note on the screen. And they are gorgeous. The buds are more of a yellow color, and they open up this creamy white. Hopefully there's not a lot of Japanese beetles right now. They've been pretty bad this year, and I've been trying to come out and get them. But this one is beautiful. Look at that. It smells delicious too. And I've been trying to get, I've been letting it now form hips. I've gotten so many blooms off of these this year. I'm so happy with them. And there's more coming, look, here. So happy. Up here you can see the yellow color that the buds are. I do need to come in and tie this up again. I've done it a couple times. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just love them so much. And in case you were wondering, these here are Japanese beetles. Oh, that one's not. That looks like a squash bug of some sort or something. This is a Japanese beetle. They're actually much easier to pick off of like the rose petals than anything else. I think they become intoxicated on the rose petals. I'm going to try to get these ones. Usually I come out with a soapy bucket of water and I put them in there. I don't have it with me right now, so I'm just going to throw them off of my roses, which is not the perfect solution because they'll probably come back. But they'd eat the petals and the buds and everything, and they've been really bad this year. So we've been trying to stay on top of them. I've still gotten some gorgeous flowers, and the plants themselves seem to be doing fine. So that's good. Let me swing around this way. So we've got some annuals and perennials in here. I did plant some strawberries that my thought was they could be a ground cover because this is the berry garden. So, and I believe these are these everbearing? I want to say they're everbearing, but I'm not 100% sure now. Ooh. These are some stuff that got on there. That's a alyssum, pink alyssum. That's just an annual. I did plant, this is a green velvet boxwood, so they'll stay relatively small, I believe. This is the new growth, so I'm really happy with that. They seem to be working well. We have some Gara here. It's just wild and wonderful. I'm not sure I would put it here again next year. It's flopping quite a bit. I think I love the look of it, but I think I would like it better in some other applications that I'm thinking of. And I think it's an annual for us, so I don't think it'll come back, but I will leave it and see if it does, because it might be borderline for us. So if it does come back, I have some ideas of where I would move it to. Okay. Oh, there's a bumblebee. Oh, bumblebee enjoying that beautiful rose. Yes, yes. Okay, this is Roald Dahl, named after the children's book author. Although, are his books really for children? I find them a little scary myself, but he is a wonderful author. Anyway, it's named after him, and it is beautiful. It's this, it's a light orange, I guess. I don't even know if I would call it maybe peach, apricot-y. I'm loving this kind of color, this soft orange, and it has bloomed so beautifully. These little bugs are everywhere now. I mean, you can see all the blooms, and this is probably its third flush like this year. I am beyond happy. I think we're going to have to come out and snip some of these to bring inside because they are just so glorious, and I need to see them all the time. Okay, then I did put in some Verbena boreaensis, this tall verbena, and I love it so much, and the pollinators have been loving it too. There's been a hawk moth out each evening. I'll see if I can put some footage in here. And they are like what tomato hornworms turn into, so it made me nervous, but it's so beautiful. Obviously couldn't do anything to it, and I actually haven't seen hornworms in my garden this year, so I don't know what's up with that. Okay, we're gonna ignore there's a dead boxwood in the middle, but the alyssum around it is looking decent. There's one plant there that doesn't look like it survived. This will be coming out soon. I just wanted to do the tour first, and then I'll be switching some of these things out. More verbena here. I do really like the verbena in here. I just think the verbena and the Gara are too much together in this space. They're both too airy. The verbena also takes up a lot of space, so as the roses get bigger, I may have to do something different. But again, this is an annual, but I basically want to put it in so many different places next year. Okay, so this one here that is growing these amazing canes this fall. I mean, these are new growth from like the last couple weeks. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. This is, I believe, Emily Bronte. It does not look like it has any blooms right now, which obviously it was putting its energy towards this gorgeous growth. So I will put in a picture here of what the blooms looked like. And I do have, there's one hip I left there that's forming. So yeah, I will put in pictures here, but it's like a soft pink and it's beautiful. And again, so happy with that growth there. Of course, I'm going to have to cut it back at some point. If you are we're in zone 5 here in Vermont, where we are in Vermont. So Vermont has both zones 4, 5. It might even have some zone 3 areas, but we're in a zone 5 here because we're near the lake. And anyway, if you have any advice, if you have roses in this zone, this is also kind of an exposed area right now. I'm hoping to plant some trees for windbreak, but as of right now, there's not any. So if you have experience with how to protect roses over the winter, these are all hardy to at least a zone 5. But, you know, I just want to make sure they survive because it can be harsh. All right, moving on. I've repeated the Gara. The strawberries are going crazy. I don't know if you can see, they're like running out here. I just have to... I'm happy that they have so many runners. I'm just trying to reset them into the garden bed. Another green velvet boxwood, and that alyssum is a little small and getting eaten up by strawberries, and I'm just going to leave it right now. Okay, there's a back arch here. I need to tie those canes up really badly. I just kind of tried to weave them in. These are James Galway, and oh, it does look like there's one flower here I can show you. Let's see. One flower. Oh, it's some buds too. This flower is on its way out, but those buds look like they're gonna open soon. It's a beautiful pink color. And again, this one, I have the climbing roses have recently been kind of shooting up, some of them. One on each side is shorter than the other, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm just hoping I can figure out how to get these to survive so that I can get it over the next few years to climb up and around the arches. Okay, so that's my other James Galway there. Both of the arches have the same thing on either side, so that hopefully it'll go up and cover, and just I'm so excited for when that happens, as long as our winters aren't too bad. Okay, so we got more alyssum, another green velvet boxwood, another Gara. This one probably looks the best. It's the least flopped. Wouldn't that be really pretty, like around a tree? I just think, like, yeah, with a little, I don't know if it's called butterfly plant or butterfly flower too, because you can see they kind of look like butterflies in the wind. I'm getting distracted though. I'm here to talk about roses. Well, I'm giving you a full tour. This is the Lady Gardener with some Gara intertwined here. There's a gorgeous shot there. And another one is a little more open over here. Let's focus on that. Yeah, the Japanese beetles have been at this one a little bit too, but it's just beautiful. This was my first one to blossom this spring. I think is the only one that is on its own root, so I feel good about that. I wish more of them were, but I chose by zone and by what I liked. So I'm really hopeful. This isn't as tall as some of the others. It's more compact, at least this year. But I mean, the blooms are gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't have to be big to be gorgeous. So. And then more verbena. In this pot we have a dwarf Alberta spruce that's actually going to be planted out into a flower bed by the house, hopefully within the next week. I'm trying to get to it soon so it has plenty of time to grow roots. But yeah, I wanted to give you this tour first because I'm going to be pulling those pots out. More verbena. Look how big this plant is. And this is one plant. This is amazing, amazing. And again, the pollinators love it. Under here, we've got Eustacia Vi. I'm not 100% sure I'm saying that name right, but it's one of the newer varieties. I want to say it was new in 2020, maybe. I should say these are all David Austin roses. If I haven't said that already, I'll link to the David Austin site below. So they're all English roses that have been bred. These ones have been. This one is the Japanese beetle's favorite, so I wasn't able to get as many blossoms off of that. But look at that. This pink, and then it's got kind of this like yellow in the center. I mean, my goodness. And you can see some new growth. It's just, I'm really happy with how all the roses are growing and really hopeful for the coming years. All right, we're back around with more Gara, another boxwood, and another alyssum. So that's the rose garden. I do have my table and chairs in the middle here. I do have my rosemary tree that's going to be coming inside with me this year. I'm going to try to keep it alive. I did just plant this, oh man, it's either Calibrachoa or it might be Super Bells. Is that Calibrachoa? Somebody tell me. I had an extra from, I replanted our deck boxes, and this was an extra, so I just stuck it in there. And one of the anemones was coming up, so I'm leaving that. Yeah, when I planted it, I dug up a couple anemone corns, so I'm trying to dry those out now. And then a little bit of purple alyssum and a rock pile of, these were lining around one side before we got the bricks, so I will find another spot for them. I have some thoughts. Okay, so that's like this is where a lot of my energy has gone this year, in this part of the garden. And so some of the other parts I'm about to show you are a little bit neglected. That's okay. We'll get there eventually. I have a lot of parts of this big garden that I'm working on, and it is what it is. Let's see. Well, okay, let me show you from here. The idea is we have on either side, we have a cherry tree. There's a Montmorency and an Evans. The Evans is so small it's hard to see. And then there's honeyberries amongst all that grass there. The honeyberries are actually doing okay, but my trees are not doing okay this year. They were completely defoliated. There weren't a ton of blooms in the spring, and so I'm a little concerned that they are dead. I do need to weed. I do want to come in this fall and just like completely weed this area, put more cardboard and mulch down, and I'm hoping next year to plant it up a little bit more to try to suppress the weeds. I also will probably make these beds bigger. All of my beds get kind of they get made smaller and smaller by the mower that comes in and tries to get the edge. So I'm gonna try to edge them, like make them bigger and actually put edging in. The honeyberries are doing okay. I mean, the leaves are a little burned. I think they could actually use a little more shade. And so I'm actually thinking about putting a tree back in here, like a big evergreen maybe. That will get them some shade, because they do better in a little bit of shade. And if it's far enough away, I mean, I don't think it'll completely shade them. This is the little honeybee one here. Honeybee. These are also called haskap, just so you know. And they are all growing. I mean, they are bigger than they were, so that's good. My intention when I'd planted these was to have the cherry trees grow up in the middle and provide at least the ones closer to them with some shade. But the cherry trees, again, aren't doing well. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna weed around them. I'll probably put some compost down, and we'll see how it goes in the spring. That'll be telling. If they don't leaf out in the spring or they look really weak, I may pull them out and replace them with something else, because I have a lot of trees I wanna put in, and I want them to be healthy and thriving. And so it might be I replace them with other cherry trees, or I might go a different direction. I could do like serviceberry, or maybe I go with a decorative, like a weeping cherry or a crabapple. I'm not sure. So it'll give me more options, I guess. All right, I'm gonna move on to my raspberries. This is the bed that never got weeded again. I said I was gonna weed it this year. We had a little accident with, we had somebody come in and brush hog some of our grass here, because we had wild parsnip growing in some of these areas, and so it just really needed to be taken down before it went to seed. Anyway, he hit the hole there and broke a piece of wood in my wire I had put up. But these are kind of a mess anyway. I'm thinking I have to move where the wire is because it's too high for this area. I think it's just taking my raspberries a little while to get established. I need to be better about weeding. Probably more compost would be great. I want to try to edge out the beds, see if that'll help me with the weeding issues, and just give them a little time. We do have really heavy clay soil. We do have raspberries in other parts around the house that are really happy, so I'm hopeful that these can really grow more, but I think they're a little small and struggling right now. Regardless, these are a red raspberry. They are still growing in here. And they're usually fall bearing, so we'll have to see if we get any this fall. I'm not sure that we will, just because of all the weeds. So the one I did weed, the one back there at some point. I think I need to come in. I mean, if I could even just get to it twice a year, I think it'd be good. These are my yellow ones, and I'm not sure what's happening here, but some of these look like they're dying off, which is sad to me. So if somebody knows what this is, if you're watching, let me know. I'm really not sure. I haven't done a lot of research on this because I've been focused on other things, but some of them look fine, and then some of them definitely look like they're having some problems. Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like they're dry, but it hasn't. I mean, our weather this summer has been very, like, weeks of dry and then lots and lots of rain all at once, but recently it's been pretty wet. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's a little sad. Those are my favorite ones. We might get some though. Look, looks like a little flower there. So maybe we'll get a few. I should come in and weed and compost again. Again, my list is long. Okay, we're gonna come back around to the other side of the rose circle here. I do love having the rose circle here so much, especially like if I think about last year, past years after we put the raspberries in, I'd always thought about putting a focal point in the middle, and it was just open for so many years, and it just felt like it was really missing something, and this really anchors the space and kind of motivates me to work on the rest of it a little bit more as well. Let's come over here. These raspberries are doing a little bit better. I think I was a little bit more diligent about weeding these this spring, and these ones they're a summer raspberries, so they fruited earlier. I do need to, this is like a new cane that grew this year, so it'll fruit on this next year. See, I tried to put this here. The idea is that this is holding them. And these are the only ones that are really tall enough for their wire at this point. but I should come in, and this is just the old canes, so I'll take those out probably this fall. If not, I'll do it in the spring. We've got a lot of hairy vetch that grows up on everything, but it is a really pretty purple flower. But it climbs something, so I have to pull it. Oh, and sorry, I should have mentioned this is a purple royalty raspberry, and then the one over here is another red one. I want to say this one is Killarney. It's either Killarney or Heritage, and the one on the other side is the other. So, yeah, this one's the new growth is looking actually really good. This is the best it's looked as far as new growth. So that's good. We got some good news there. The Japanese beetles have been out and have been getting to things, but the plants seem to be holding up okay. This area, just this spot here, this grass keeps coming back. I keep taking it out and it just comes right back. Anyway, all right, that is the berry garden. So until next time, friends, happy gardening.